I'm Valerie Graham, and welcome back to Natural Bliss. Thank you for joining me last week, and this week I have a very interesting guest with me. Her name is Thelma Condra, and she is a shaman and Reiki master. Now, the word shaman can invoke a few different ideas. These would be what I would think a shaman would look like. But when you see Thelma, she doesn't look anything like that. And now I would like to introduce Thelma Condra. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Val. I'm very happy to be here. Very excited, and I love your pictures.
Thanks. So I've had the pleasure of knowing two shamans in my life, Thelma and another friend of mine, Samuel Eduardo Menand. Both of you have gone to South America to study and sit with the shaman there. We'll talk about Thelma's journey there in a little bit. So it's very interesting because I don't know how many people out there actually know a shaman personally, and I know two. And Thelma is also a Reiki master, both Usui and Karuna Reiki. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about that too. So I'm hoping all of our viewers today get a good understanding of energy healing and what it can do for you.
Yeah.
So, Thelma, tell us a little bit about your journey and how this started.
Well, I love your pictures, and I'd like to mention that shamanism dates back 50,000 years. Some say 100,000 years. So it's a deep, deep, rich culture. My journey began, I had a little personal health crisis where I sought a very talented and wonderful surgeon, very perfect, and I also sought out energy medicine. Somebody introduced me to Reiki, and I learned Reiki so that I could do sessions on myself daily, every day. And from there, I wanted to learn more and more about energy healing. How could I bring more of this beauty into my life, and how could I share that with other people?
Okay. So I'm going to read a little quote because I want everybody to get the background and understanding first of what it is Thelma and her shaman sessions entail. Yeah. We each have a luminous energy field that surrounds and permeates our body. Yeah. This field connects us with the earth, sun, stars, and moon, all of life. Held within this field are impressions from the past that hold us back, as well as the seeds of our healing, wholeness, and joy.
Right.
So, as we talk about the luminous energy field, I dressed in white today for my luminous energy. And you have something to show us.
Picture, artwork done by Alex Gray depicting the luminous energy field. So all of us have this luminous energy field. And this is the blueprint for who we are, who we've been, and who we're becoming. So each one of us, plants, animals, the Mother Earth herself, we're all enveloped in this energy field. So this is where the shaman works. This is where the imprints are held from our traumas from the past woundings, as well as our beauty and our joy. But also the traumas and the woundings are from our genetic heritages. These are held in the luminous energy field, and they're like information packets that activate, and they come up and they present themselves again in our lives, in the present, so that they can be brought to healing and release. And this is where a shaman works, in this energetic field.
Okay, so would that be something like karma, when we say past life karma?
Yeah, you might say that, absolutely. Accumulations from the past, they leave imprints, and we carry them with us, and perhaps from past lives as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about I know you have the 4 layers of existence.
Right. Mm-hmm.
In your shamanic journey. So
absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about that.
And I think that helps people to understand and make a little bit sense of energy work. So the shamans see all of life, all of us, as existing on 4 levels. And the first, densest level is the physical, and we all know that very well. And then the next is the mental emotional, and we all know that very well, and that's the language of words. And then above that, and a little bit finer, is the language of the mythic realm, the realm of the soul. This realm can be entered into in ceremony, in dance, drum, and it can be expressed through poetry, but it cannot be captured in words. And the finest level is the level of spirit, the level of the energetic. And this is where the shaman works, in these upper, finer levels, the level of the mythic. Because when we work to bring our healing only in the physical and the mental, emotional, we can often feel like we're a hamster on a wheel and not really getting anywhere.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about what a shaman does do and doesn't do.
Yeah, well, what a shaman doesn't do is interfere. So a shaman always works with permission from the client, on behalf of the client, to assist them with their healing process and their journey, to honor the places that they've been and bring them to healing, forgiveness, and release, so that these places of woundings may become places of power and light and beauty, and bring that back into their lives. So they don't interfere with their journey, they don't interfere with their religion, and they certainly do not interfere with a medical practitioner, though the sessions may absolutely enhance their healing process. So what they do, again, is work on that energetic field by, typically for a session, a shamanic session, someone will speak about what's up for them, what's happening, where's the pain, where do they feel stuck, what's going on in their lives. And then I'll track that energy field. Where are these imprints? Where's this information held? And let's release it. Let's bring it out of that luminous field so it can be replaced with light and life-nurturing energy. And that's actually called the illumination process for the shamans.
Okay. So you want to show us a little bit about some things that you would
Sure.
use in a shamanic session?
They may be used.
I have had one, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, they may
Really
be used, and sometimes they may not be. This is the mesa, the shaman's mesa, which contains the kuyas, the stones, the healing stones that went through my journey and continue to go my journey of healing. And they're used on behalf of the client to assist them in their healing. May use a feather to shift energy. Remember, we're working on the energetic field, which extends about arm's length like this from the body. So we may use the feather to help shift and move and change that energy. And sometimes a rattle for sound to help to move and change that energy. And also to call in and set in that light energy as well. Sometimes Palo Santos or sage we might burn for clearing and cleansing. And occasionally a crystal may or may not be used. Again, it depends on the session and it depends on what's needed. And this is a very beautiful,
this crystal. It's gorgeous.
very gorgeous and powerful crystal, and it's a perfect place for holding energy, because sometimes the energy that we're holding in our field is the energies of a loved one. Maybe it's an argument, maybe it's a fight, maybe it's someone who's passed on and we've held on to some of their energy. So this is a beautiful place to hold that energy, and then later it's released in ceremony, in sacred space.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell
With
me
great
a
honor.
little bit about your journey. What training was involved? What did you do? And how did you get to this place?
Yeah, well, I started off, as I said, with Reiki training, and then as I wanted to learn more, I discovered the Four Winds Healing the Light Body School. And I'm lucky that a lot of that training was right up in Rhinebeck in New York, so I didn't have to travel, but there are classes held around the world. And that took me about a year and a half to complete for my certification in shamanic energy medicine. And then I went on to take more classes, more advanced classes. And then I went to Peru with the school to sit in ceremony with shamans who don't look quite like this. They have another beautiful, unique look. And
Yes,
to receive the
their garb
rites.
is much more like.
Yeah, it's much more like,
yes.
exactly, yeah. This is some of the weavings from the shamans in Peru, from the Laika, they're called, the medicine men and women of Peru. Yeah, and this holds their story is held in the textiles.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
So what did you feel when you were in this ceremony? Yes. Was the energy different because you were in Peru with all of these
amazing.
fantastic
It's
shamans?
fantastic.
Right.
It was beautiful. Yeah, it's hard to speak about. Again, it's that mythic place, that energetic place. So it can't be captured in words. But it was indeed beautiful. And here again, in these sacred sites, I received once again those Munaiki rites, those rites of initiation for upgrading and cleansing the luminous field to bring us to that place of healing.
Now, I did the Munaiki rites with Thelma. I took the classes and received the rites. And it's 9, is that
9.
correct? 9 empowerment right?
There are 9.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, there are 9 energetic transmissions, and they are the initiatory rites of the shamans. And they've been going on for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years through varying cultures in various ways. And they're open to all of us now to reconnect us with the Mother Earth, to bring light and beauty into that luminous energy field that holds the templates of our wounding, so we can begin to heal at a deep energetic place, those places of woundings from our past, that we can connect with the earth, the sun, the moon, and the stars. And it also connects us with a lineage of light keepers, of medicine men and women who have come before us, so that we may connect with their light and their wisdom and bring that into our own lives. As we do that healing for ourselves, we do it for our families. We do it for our planet because we're interconnected.
Yes, and I did it to help our oceans because my company, Crystal Blue, is all about donating and helping save our oceans and our planet. So that was one of the other reasons that I decided to undertake that. And it was a great experience. And I believe I have been to a despacho ceremony with you also. Did we do one for the oceans? Was
it was a little bit different, but it was a ceremony for the oceans, exactly, where we begin with opening sacred space. And the shamans always work in sacred space, and that's calling on the power of the 4 directions: the south, the north, the west, the east, and the power and the energy of the Mother Earth and the stars and the moon. And this creates a sacred space to work in. And then we can work and do our prayers and create a healing bundle for anything to come back into balance, honor, respect. And we did that for the oceans and all of her creatures.
Yes, that was awesome.
That was sweet.
So if I came to you and wanted a healing session, what's involved in that? How do you work? How does that work?
Well, if you came to me first, I would talk to you about what it is you want to bring to healing. And we have a range, we can range from Reiki all the way into shamanic work, depending on what you are comfortable with, what the client needs, what makes you feel at home. And then we would discuss what you want to bring to healing, and then you would lie on a massage table. Very comfortable, maybe a little soft music in the background, maybe a candle, and then I would be working within the luminous energy field and checking in with you continually to see if you're comfortable. Is there something that you want to breathe out? And you actually would participate in this session to facilitate the healing, because it's your journey and it's your healing process.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about what the difference is between a shamanic healing and, say, Reiki, which I think a lot of people are familiar with Reiki now. A lot of people call it hands-on healing. But what would be the difference between a Reiki session and a shamanic healing session?
Right. Well, Reiki came together with Dr. Usui as he received his enlightenment and the power to heal, and he taught others and passed that along, and that was in the 1920s, whereas shamanism dates back thousands of years. So for me, I find the Reiki session is deeply relaxing, and you could come to me and say, I really don't want to talk about anything. And you don't have to. And you just simply lie down on the table, soft music, candle, and the hands can be on the body or just in the energy field. And it's a deep, deep relaxation. And it also works, again, on all 4 of these levels, because we're working also on that energetic field. And again, the shamanic session, as we discussed already, you get a little bit deeper into these specific issues that get lodged in our body, our tissue, and our energy field.
And Thelma teaches Reiki sessions. She's a Reiki master, so she can teach those sessions. I have a second degree Reiki certification. I took my first one with Diana Moore, who's a light teacher out in Holbrook, and my shout out to Diana. And my second Reiki session was with Regina Stark. She's the owner of the Center for Art and Healing in Vero Beach now, and used to be here on Long Island, does come up to visit us. So shout out to Regina. I never went on for my third. It's 3 certifications, is that correct?
Yeah. When I first took it in 98, it was Reiki 1, 2, 3, Reiki Master. Now it's kind of shifted and changed. It's Reiki 1, 2, Advanced Reiki Training. and then Reiki Master. So they call that ART now. And I love ART, Reiki 3, because it does encompass some pieces of other healing modalities.
Oh.
So
that might be something I have to look into.
Yes, it's very sweet.
Now, Thelma also offers full moon fire ceremonies, which
Yes.
I have participated in a number of times.
Yes.
That's on the eve of the full moon, or
Right. The full moon, if I can do it right on the full moon, I like to do that, or the day before or after.
okay.
Yeah.
So that's an awesome experience. We chant, bring rattles and drums, and
Right, right.
sit around a fire ceremony. Bring a stick. You blow into the stick whatever you want to release,
Right.
and then it gets burned away in the fire
Right. So
of the
this
full
is
moon.
another way to work in the mythic and the energetic level. So we kind of get off that hamster wheel a little bit.
Okay. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about Moonai Key? We touched on that a tiny bit. Are you offering a class in that anytime soon?
There is actually, I am going to be offering a class soon, and I believe it is in the first Tuesday of October.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep the class kind of small, and we'll do maybe four evenings to receive all of the rites. So they go into these rites are energetic transmissions, and they enter into the luminous field as seeds, and then you grow them. And if you need a lot of healing, the body may just absorb those seeds, and then you need to receive them again. But then you grow them with your intention and certain breathings, and you work with candles and fire to feed those seeds. So you feed them, but not with food and drink, in a different way.
Okay. Tell us where we can find you.
Yes.
Where's your website? Where can we find you?
Website is www.energyhealingsessions.com. It's a new website, energyhealingsessions.com. And I'm offering sessions at the office of Dr. Becker in Levittown on Hempstead Turnpike. So you can find all of that information on the website if you'd like to book a session.
And you also do long distance sessions, is that correct?
Oh, absolutely, yes. For any of the modalities, you don't need to be in person. So I have clients in Colorado and in Arizona, and sometimes just here on Long Island, but we can't get together. So usually we'll pick a time and a date. For Reiki, we don't have to be on the phone, and generally for shamanic sessions, we hook up on the phone. The person will be at home, lying down comfortably, get cozy, make themselves all cozy, and we work together that way, and it's really as if we're in the same room together.
And you have two Reiki certifications, first degree and second degree Reiki, coming up at the
that's right,
Long
at the
Island
Long Island
Center for Yoga in Babylon.
Yes, the Long Island Yoga Center in Babylon. Yes, the first weekend in September is a Reiki 1 class, and then the first weekend in October is Reiki 2. And it's actually a Saturday, one day for each class.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I thank you for coming on. You were a very interesting guest.
Thank you.
And to my viewers, I hope that our next session, I hope to have on a guest, Karen Fusillo, and we'll be discussing various skincare components and ingredients. So if anybody has any questions that they'd like us to answer, please email me in advance, and I will be happy to take some of those questions and talk about them on our show. Thank you for joining us. It's Valerie Graham at Natural Bliss. You can find me at crystalblue.com, and I will see you next week.